Indian military strikes deep inside Pakistan have caused real headaches for Turkish President Erdogan. Pakistan Prime Minister has now himself admitted its air force ran for cover as India hit at the heart of Pakistani defenses.
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म साहब, हिंदुस्तान ने अपने बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल अभी लॉन्च किए हैं. एक नूर खान एयरपोर्ट पे गिरा है.
Now it has emerged Pakistan was afraid that India will shoot down its Turkish TB2 drones. The Indian defense system also ensured no counter-strikes by any of the 350 plus Turkish drones fired by Pakistan towards India. Secondly, near intact Turkish drones have been found inside India, either jammed or malfunctioned, leading to free technology transfer. Now the Indians have joined the battle and are boycotting Turkey en masse. Turkish firm Celebi has been kicked out of a multi-billion-dollar contract for 9 Indian airports. After India cancelled the Turkish firm's security clearance, its stocks are reportedly in free fall. Not just that, Indians are boycotting and cancelling their vacations to Turkey and Azerbaijan. Just last year, Indians spent $43 billion in Turkey and $26 billion in Azerbaijan. This has led to Turkey's eternal rival Greece now wooing Indian tourists to visit Athens instead. Fearing huge financial losses, a Turkish tourism ministry post went viral on social media, urging Indians to return. Later, the government of Turkey denied issuing any such letter. But not just that, it's going to get worse. Indian Traders Association may impose a total nationwide ban on Turkish food and imports. Indian universities too are joining in, including JNU, Lovely Professional University, and Jamia Millia have cancelled MOUs with their Turkish counterparts. All this after Turkey provided over 350 plus armed drones and loitering munitions to Islamabad, while even helping Pakistan plan and execute its mission against India during Operation Sindoor. Not only did India overcome such tactics on the battlefield, the Indian Air Force established total air superiority over Islamabad. Experts have verified satellite imagery showing Indian missile strikes on 11 Pakistani air bases, while Pakistan has also produced no proof at all on any hits on Indian military installations. All its Photoshop claims have been fact-checked by experts.
But I think India did that. It showed overwhelming military superiority.
Pakistani leaders are now resorting to using AI-generated news articles to boost the morale of their beaten forces. But India's real victory over Pakistan-Turkey axis was achieved on the battlefield.
बेस के ऊपर 4 सरफेस टू सरफेस BrahMos मिसाइल आए.
India has busted a major myth of modern warfare. All the hype over Turkish combat drones has been shot out of the sky. We'll tell you all about that, especially why Pakistan was even afraid to use the Turkish Boycott TB2 drone in battle against the Indian Akash missile defense shield. There is only one winner of the India versus Pakistan air battle over 3 days. For the first time in history, a nuclear-armed nation faced such a humiliating defeat on the battlefield in such a short time. Pakistan surrendered in just the opening round of this conflict and then called India to seek a ceasefire, which New Delhi agreed to. Prime Minister Modi visited the Adampur Air Base in Punjab, where Pakistan claimed to have destroyed an Indian S-400 air defense system. Prime Minister Modi's visit is living proof that Indian air base is fully intact, while Pakistan's own air bases have been rendered unusable. Once again, Islamabad failed to provide any proof of any strike on S-400 air defense system. Instead, they circled an empty patch of land and were duly mocked by users on Platform X. In turn, 11 Pakistani air bases lie in tatters as shown in verified satellite images as the Indian Air Force established total air superiority over Islamabad in just 72 hours. Striking inside Pakistan at will, some hundreds of kilometers deep inside enemy territory. India's integrated air defense system neutralized wave after wave of Turkish drones sent by Pakistan in desperation at 36 locations. These included the Turkish Songar multi-rotoring system and Baykar Yiha-3 loitering munitions. Not even one Turkish drone was allowed to hit any Indian military installation inside Indian territory, while New Delhi destroyed Pakistani air defenses all the way from Lahore to Karachi. So why were Turkish drones so ineffective against the Indian air defense shield, especially the indigenous Akash air defense system? In fact, India's aerial domination was so absolute that Pakistan was even afraid to take out the Turkish TB2 drone out of the hangar. According to this report in defense.in, a senior official from the Indian Air Force claimed Pakistan deliberately held back the elite UCAVs out of fear that they would be easily neutralized by India's formidable multi-layered air defense grid. He stated, quote, "Slow-moving UAVs like the TB2 were never designed to survive in contested airspace dominated by advanced air defenses. Pakistan knows that if they send them in, they won't be coming back," unquote. The decision highlights a key vulnerability of the Turkish drones that once dominated battlefields in places like Nagorno-Karabakh, Syria, and Libya. India has demonstrated that Turkish drones are only effective only when the enemy lacks serious air defense capabilities. In fact, this reflects how the Pakistani Air Force is scared of India. The Indian Air Force has entered Pakistani airspace in 2019 to strike Balakot, as well as establish total air superiority in recent air battle. But not once has any Pakistani fighter jet dared to enter Indian airspace, despite such a humiliating hammering. The Boycott TB2, a medium-altitude, long-endurance drone, became famous for its cost-effectiveness and ability to carry out precision strikes in low-threat environments. Its successor, the Bayraktar Akinci, is a high-altitude, long-endurance platform with a massive 1,350 kilogram payload, advanced avionics, and mission profiles closer to a manned fighter jet. Pakistan acquired several TB2s earlier in the decade and by 2023 had received 6 or 7 Akinci drones, integrating them for surveillance, strike, and ISR missions. But while these drones shine in asymmetric warfare, their relatively slow speed, roughly 120 to 220 kilometers per hour, and large radar signatures make them easy targets for countries like India, which field advanced surface-to-air missiles or SAM systems, radar nets, and electronic warfare suits. The result? Not a single TB2 or Akinci drone was seen on the battlefield. They did not even dare to come near India's airspace during the latest battle. India's integrated air defense system is proving to be a major deterrent. At its core is the S-400 Triumph, a Russia-built long-range SAM system capable of tracking and destroying aerial threats over 400 kilometers away. But the S-400 is used for high-value targets like fighter jets or ballistic missiles. For eliminating Turkish drone swarms, India used its own indigenous Akash missile system along with the Israeli Barak 8 and short-range platforms like the Spider and upgraded L-70 air defense guns. Further strengthening this web is India's counter-unmanned aerial system network, integrated with electronic warfare tools that can jam or misdirect hostile drones. This was the first time Indian Akash air defense system was used in battle, and it prevented even a single Turkish drone from reaching its target. Now, this is great news for nations like Armenia, who have already bought the Indian Akash air defense system to neutralize any Azerbaijani drones in the next war. The Akash missile system is equipped with the Rajendra radar. It can engage targets at low to medium altitudes with impressive accuracy. A 2020 report from Azerbaijan's AIR Center highlighted Akash's success against TB2-type drones, often before those drones could even launch their munitions. In fact, now after its super show against Pakistan, India will be shipping the second batch of the Akash air defense shield to Armenia in July this year. Another critical factor influencing Pakistan's caution is a recent high-profile loss, the downing of a Bayraktar Akinci drone in March 2025 by Kurdish fighters in Iraq's Kandil Mountains using radar-guided missiles. This incident sent a strong signal. Even the most advanced Turkish drones are exposed when operating in contested skies. Another reported Akinci drone crashed in Libya in January 2025, only adding to the growing body of evidence that Turkish drones are vulnerable. Or maybe Erdogan dialed Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif and ordered him not to use the Turkish TB2 drones against India. After all, loss of multiple TB2s at the hands of India would have plummeted their market value. Pakistan then attempted to saturate Indian defenses using hundreds of smaller drones, hoping to break through using sheer volume. But that too backfired. Between May 7th and 8th alone, the Indian Air Force says it intercepted over 300 Songar drones with little to no impact on Indian military targets. Of course, broken pieces fell to the ground due to gravity, causing minor damage at places. An Indian Air Force official stated, quote, "Pakistan appears to have misjudged our defensive capabilities. Their drone swarms were based on flawed assumptions. They underestimated how well India's systems could coordinate and neutralize incoming threats." Unquote. The non-appearance in battle of the TB2 and Akinci drones deals a major blow to the narrative crafted by Ankara and Islamabad that these platforms can change the tide of modern warfare. While undeniably effective in conflicts like Nagorno-Karabakh and northern Syria, those successes came against poorly defended enemies. Against a superior military power like India, their survivability appears drastically reduced. The Turkish drone revolution, which some call the Kalashnikov movement of the drone age, is now being re-evaluated in light of real-world setbacks in Ukraine, Libya, Iraq, and now by omission in South Asia. Pakistan's decision to ground its most advanced Turkish drone speaks volumes. The high-profile Bayraktars are missing not because they are ineffective in general, but because they are ineffective against India, a military equipped to detect, track and destroy them long before they become a threat. In warfare, what doesn't fly speaks as loudly as what does. And in this case, the silence of the Bayraktars may be the loudest message yet. The latest air battle also showcases a difference in attitudes between the two air forces. While the Indian Air Force is prepared to put all its assets on the line to complete its mission objectives, Pakistan Air Force would rather prefer its bases being bombed rather than risk a loss of its aerial assets and thus harm their market value. Yet Pakistan could not save its drones nor its combat aircraft when Indian Air Force pummeled their air bases out of operation. But what do you believe? Why were Pakistan's Turkish drones so useless in battle against India? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.